Well, that sting means it's time for the very latest from the ENCA Money Desk, and Devon Murrigan is standing by. Now, Devon, shareholders continue to be the losers as this Old Mutual Peter Moyo spat drags on. What's the latest?
Yes, you're quite right, Marcel. I mean, that share price of Old Mutual going down 7.5% since the spat began. Now, Old Mutual filing papers today in response to action taken by the ex-CEO Peter Moyo. The insurance company will respond to the contempt of court application. Now, the move comes as investors count, as you said, the cost of damage caused by the continued spat between the two parties. The Old Mutual axed Moyo twice, once in June and then in August, saying that it had become clear that a continued employment relationship was untenable. The insurer is citing a breakdown in confidence for its termination of Moyo's contract and relates to a dividend payout due to Old Mutual. Now, Moyo last week, you'll remember, sued Old Mutual and its directors for 250 million rand after the group refused to let him resume his duties, despite a court ruling that he should be reinstated. So you're quite right. Who feels the pinch? It's those shareholders, as the Old Mutual price, Marcel, goes down 7.5% since this whole thing began.
Now, Devon, yet again, another company delaying results and refuses to publish a report on possible wrongdoings. Don't they know that this is not going to gain them any fans?
Oh, yes, indeed. And I mean, we're getting quite used to this in corporate South Africa. Sugar producer Tongaat saying it's still not ready to release its full-year results on the 31st of this month as planned. It also won't publish a forensic report into activities at the company. Now, PricewaterhouseCoopers has wrapped up and handed over its forensic report into suspect activities at Tongaat units. In June, the 127-year-old company, which is also SA's biggest sugar producer, was suspended from the JSE and in London, where it has been listed since 1939. Tongaat, you'll remember, asking that its listing be suspended because of, there we go, that phrase again, accounting irregularities. Analysts say ENCA, or tells ENCA this afternoon rather, that shareholders have a right to view that report, which they essentially paid for. But Tongaat saying the report is confidential and subject to legal privilege, results coming out or postponed at least to the mid-November period, Marcel.
Now, Devon, I think it was you and I that spoke about the struggling gas business in Mossel Bay, but today news coming through of a huge multi-billion rand gas project getting signed in one of our neighboring countries. What's that about?
Yeah, it's been in the making for quite some time, but I think the big focus here is really this figure. Africa's longest or biggest natural gas project will officially be signed today. ExxonMobil and the Mozambican government are expected to seal the deal on the project, which could cost $30 billion. That's more than 450 billion rand, and in context, that's the size of Eskom's debt. Well, this is where the project will get underway. Let's bring the map up and you'll see. It's around Mozambique's northern coastline in Cabo Delgado province. The 15 million ton a year gas and export project is even bigger than the one that Total is building nearby. It's right at the top end of the Mozambican border, as you can see, with Tanzania. Mozambique's $15 billion economy may see some improvements, and we hope that will have positive implications for jobs and energy supply. So from there, if you will allow me, let's bring the JSE map and just track out what the boards are telling us as far as the local market is concerned. A very subdued local market today, 0.1% in the red, basically flat. We've got that China and US talks, rather, I beg your pardon. That's those trade disputes. Talks are scheduled for tomorrow. So globally, the markets are pretty much cautious, and you can see it on the JSE, pretty much flat. Financials are down because we had a weak rand. And let's look at that rand, by the way. And you'll see that because the dollar strengthened over the past few hours, we've got a bit of a dip with the rand against the dollar. At the moment, sitting at 15 rand 28 cents to the euro 16 rand 75 or 79 rather. And if you want a British pound, 18 rand 76 cents.